my goodness. Welcome to day 17. The worst thing about throwing a party is the cleanup the next day. I'm looking at my kitchen right now and I'm like, I do not want to do this. But Matt and I are going to tackle it together. He's going to do half. I'm going to do half. I did a load in the dishwasher last night, so I already put those away. I'm filling it up again. So hopefully, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. We kind of cleaned as we went yesterday, but I don't even know if I want to show you. I mean, it's just stuff everywhere. That's actually clean. It's not too terribly bad, but still, who wants to do that the day after throwing a party? No one. So we are here in my studio, and I thought we would get a little official, a little bit more official, and get, you know, in the good lighting and in the professional background atmosphere, because we're going to do something a little different today. We are going to have a guest, and it's going to be a conferenced-in video guest. We're going to do a little collab with a friend of mine because she had such a fun idea for a DIY gift for a family member or a friend, and I think there's just so many different ways that you could take this idea and make it work for the gift that you want to give. So the version of what she's giving you is what she's doing for her dad, but you could do it for your dad, you could do it for your mom, you could do it for your grandma. This gift is so fun and so sentimental and so sweet, and something that can be looked fondly on in the future and for a long time to come, and maybe even like passed down, maybe even like added to. And you're probably like, Ashley, I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you saying? So let's just jump to it. Special guest, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Lori, and I am friends with Ashley.
Yes, you are.
This is my little helper here, Harley. We were talking not too long ago.
Yes, we did. And P.S., how cute is her Christmas tree? This is why we're friends. We both love to DIY everything and come up with new creative ways to do things. And so this is why I have to introduce you to my friend and have her tell you this amazing idea. Okay, Lori, go ahead.
And I was telling her about this fun idea I had for a Christmas gift for my dad. He moved to Idaho about 2 years ago, and I have 5 half-brothers and sisters on that side of my family with my dad. Between all of us, dad's in Idaho, my one brother is in Tennessee, my other sister is in Texas, and the other 3 of us are here in California. So I was trying to think of something fun and creative to kind of represent all of us and where we live, and putting together a little gift for my dad. So I have seen people that do like a map of the United States, and they put little hearts in each coordinating state for each family member. Then I kind of thought of the idea taking a step further and doing like little state ornaments. But then I kind of wanted all of those to be put together somehow. So then I thought about getting the different states and putting them all on like a little Christmas tree as something he can bring out every year. And for each state, I wanted to print a little black and white photo of that family member that lives in that state and kind of mount it onto the state. Anyways, telling Ashley about this idea, she loved it and asked me if I could do a step-by-step video for you guys on how I put it together. So that's what I've done. Enjoy! First thing I'm going to do is do the stain on the tree. This Christmas tree and a cutout of each of the states that we're all from. I got from the Wooden Hare, I got from their Etsy shop. Family, I got from somebody else on Etsy. So I am using this home decor wood tint. You have to shake it up really, really good before you get started with it. There's different techniques you can use with this stain. I'm going to use a rag, or mine in this case is just a washcloth, because I want it to be more of a stained look rather than a painted look. I'm just kind of dipping my rag in there, and I'm just going to kind of brush this on the tree. If you want a darker look, you can use a paintbrush and it'll give it a more solid look, but I am just going for a light stain of this gray tone. The first coat is done, and it is a very light gray stain. You have to wait about 30 seconds to let it absorb into the wood. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat just to make it a little bit darker. Again, I don't want it a solid color. I want it just a nice stained color. Keep it on the natural side. Okay, I'm finished with the second coat on that. It's a little bit darker. This lighting is pretty terrible. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead. I already know that the family part of the sign I wanted to do in this metallic glaze. So while the tree is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and do a glaze on this using just a regular sponge brush. Okay, so I'm just gonna dip my little sponge brush into the glaze, tap off the excess, and really just kind of brush over it. I left it inside, I didn't pop it out yet because I just thought it would be easier. Throw the glaze over it just like this. so we can set that aside. Okay, now back to the tree. I like to create like a brush stroke effect on the wood just to kind of make it look like the grain in wood. I did a sample of that on the California here. You can kind of see through here. So I wanted to use the metallic just to give it a little bit of sheen. You just use a regular old brush. I have opened the glaze and there's a little bit left in the cap here. So you can either dip in there or cap or whatever you want. You don't need very much on here at all. So you kind of tap the brush in there, and I even wipe off a little bit of excess. You just need very little, and you just kind of start going back and forth. And it doesn't have to be even because wood grains are not even. And again, you need very little. Most of this is going to be covered up by the states anyway, but it gives just a nice little texture and background. Kind of see there's just little brush strokes giving it a little grainy effect. Okay, with the tree done, the next thing I need to do is start working on the states. So I had an extra California and I painted it this very light cream color. You can tell it's a little bit different from the natural wood. And I needed to decide if I want to go with the white or leave it the natural color. I think the white is really going to pop on the tree. However, I like the natural because I think it really goes with the natural look of the Christmas tree that I did. So I think I'm gonna go leaving it natural. So at this point, what I'm doing is kind of a rough layout of where I'm going to position each of the states, just to kind of double check to make sure I do want to leave them this natural color. And I do think that's the look I'm going to go with. This is going to go along the bottom here somehow. Once I get the states positioned on here, I will figure out exactly where I'm going to put the family part. But this is about where it's going to go. They are going to overhang off the tree, which is fine. I already anticipated that. Just trying to find a way to successfully lay them out without all of the Californias being so much together, but I think this is how it's going to have to be. Okay, the next step is going to be to do each state. So for each state, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Mod Podge and the sponge. Okay, so just get some Mod Podge on your little sponge and just kind of get a coat of it going over the wood. These are going to go off the edges a little bit of the states, which is totally fine by me, because all of them are such different shapes, it's hard to get them to fit perfectly in there. And then you're going to take the Mod Podge and just go over the photo. And if you've never worked with Mod Podge before, this is totally fine to go over the photo with it. And that's it for that one. Kind of trying to strategically cover up these holes. I think these were meant to be in some type of ornament. I suppose I could have asked them if they could make them without the holes in it, but I didn't think ahead. And last but not least in California is me and my family. It's my husband and my daughter. My dad's going to want to hang this up or what he's going to want to do, but this didn't come with any sort of hanger on the back. This isn't a very heavy piece, so I'm just going to simply hot glue this piece, this hanger. I'm just gonna eyeball the middle of it here just because it's pretty simple to do. And I'm going to take my pen and just kind of mark where those two dots are. And I have warmed up my glue gun over here. Do a dot there and a dot there. And just stick this on. There we go. Now it's hanger ready. Okay, before I go to glue these down, I will space them out exactly as I need them and then just start gluing them down. I popped out the family, turned out really, really nice. I think it's gonna look really cute, kind of going at an angle across the bottom of the tree. Let's glue these bad boys down. So I'm just kind of throwing some hot glue on the back. Gonna stick this back up here how I had it. And there's the first one. My dad and Jackie at the top of the family tree. all glued down. Okay, this is the finished product. I was really bothered by the little holes that were still showing in the California, so I actually had these rhinestone stickers. I put one over the holes on the Californias and then just added them at the top of each state, so it looks like it was intentional for each state. I did a couple of finishing touches. I added the bow to the top, and then on each one I put a little star representing the cities each of us live in. And there is our family Christmas tree.
How much fun was that? Isn't that not the best and the cutest, most thoughtful gift? I think it's so sweet and relatively easy, not too hard, like definitely doable, total DIY, and I just love it. Hopefully, if you're having trouble finding a gift for someone, because a lot of times, especially when it's like your parents, your grandparents, it's like, what can you buy them that they don't already have or can't buy for themselves, you know? So this is like a perfect gift to give someone because they can't get this just anywhere, and I think that's what makes it super special. So hopefully it's given you a good idea for a last minute gift, or it's given you some inspiration for another gift. And if it did give you inspiration, please let me know what you're thinking and how you'd change it in the comments below. I'd love to hear. I'm always love to hear ideas. And also, if you have any fun, crafty, inspirational things that you would like me to share, feel free to tape yourself like my friend Lori did and email it on over to ashleyyoulife@gmail.com. I would love to feature you. I'd totally give you a shout out, and I think it would just be really, really fun. And also, I haven't really been like pushing this, but if you haven't subscribed yet, I think you should subscribe because we just have so much fun together. And you know you love life hacks and makeup and hair, so push the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the fun. I'll see you soon.